Hello and welcome to our fourth woodwork tutorial. Today we're going to be making the bird table top. This is what we made last time. So what we're going to do today is the table, which will sit on there, and the roof piece. Very similar to that, and that will sit inside there. And there's the complete table. But first what we need to do is we can put these to one side. Our first task is to make the table itself. And what we have to make the table, we'll need screwdriver, bradawl, 30mm screws, 25mm screws, glue, and a wet rag. So when we open the table up, what we have is we have them all got numbers on, and we have number 1 to number 1, and that rail will sit on number 1. So what we do first is we get the glue, and we're going to align the glue down the line of the two boards, just like that, and then a line of glue where the rail meets, and a line of glue on that one as well. So we've got our glue on, and that one will glue, just give it a little wiggle like that. So we're on the top there. Again, if you have 2 seconds, we'll go 30mm screws, and we screw number 1. Do you want to come round and I'll show you? Number 1 to number 1, and those rails go on there. Again, if you've got a workmate, that's beneficial, but if you haven't, I'll show you how to do it without the workmate. So we just put the screws in for number 1. And the next one, number 1. $30mm screws, and then when we put that one on, we make sure that joint is close together, as well as being flush with the bottom of the rail. And then the last one, to finish that rail off. You'll notice with rails number 1 and number 2, there's 4 screws in each rail, and that's just to make sure the two boards line up nice and straight. So there's number 1 to number 1, all glued and screwed. So we turn it over, and we go number 2, a line of glue, and we look for number 2. There. Again, 4 screws for each board. So put the first 30mm screw in. Second screw. And then again, we make sure that joint is tight. And we put the screw, and then we're nice and flush as well. again, if we're not sure, we can use the brad to locate the screws. So there we go, number 2 to number 2. And then all we need to do now is put the rails on the side pieces. So we'll start with a line of glue on 3. We've done 1, 2, and then we'll put number 3. And this rail only needs 2 screws. 2 30mm screws. Yep, this one. 3 to 3. Okay, so we'll look for number 4 to finish off the rails on the side. And the remainder 2 30mm screws for this task. Last one. So there we have it. That's the table all assembled together. So we wipe the glue off, the excess glue with a wet rag, all the way around and the bottom. And all our numbers are lined up. So when we've got all that done, what we need to do is offer it onto the top where the table. Remember we did all these nice and flushed, all nice and flat. So that's the reason why that is. When we look underneath, we've got that nice and flat there. And then all we have to do is we have to locate it right in the centre. And then we put 25mm screws in. So before we think about putting the screws in, we need to put a drop of glue on each brace, and also on the top of the table itself. And then we offer it, so we're in the centre. Yep, and then we use the 25mm screws through the pre-drilled holes. Once we get that one in, we turn around and do the opposite side. Locate my screws. There we are. Yeah, one final check to make sure we're nice and straight. with the braces. And then the last one on this side. Right, so that's the table all assembled and complete. I'm going to have a cup of coffee now and a bacon sandwich, and then we'll do the roof part in the next video. Okay, thank you.